Morning, dear students. So, in last class we have discussed about what is the planning and what are the features. So, moving to the next topic, that is why this planning is important and what are the limitations of this particular topic. Okay. So, we know that planning is nothing but deciding the future course of action in advance. So, but yet it has some merits as well as some demerits. So, does plans really works? Does it has a real importance in the organization, or whether it is also having some drawbacks or what? So just let us understand that concept. So the very first thing, that is, then let us discuss with the importance, some of the importance of planning. The first point, that is, planning provides direction. Planning provides direction. So every plan states what you are supposed to do. We know that. So in the planning, what we are going to do? So it is going to state, it is going to give a statement, and it is going to state us. So what each individual have to do, and how they have to do, and when they have to do, and who by whom we have to get the work done. So it is going to give clarity. So when employees are having clarity and departments are having some clarity about what is their responsibility and what is their limitation, so in such cases it reduces the misunderstanding. So when people are having clarity about their responsibility in the organization, so they will work with they can give a productive results. Okay, so as a result of that, we can achieve the organizational goals. So that is why it is important. It provides a direction, because every planning states what individual have to do and how, where, when it is to be done. Okay, it is going to give some clarity about these aspects. So that is why we can say we can easily achieve the organizational goals. It is going to eliminate the misunderstanding, and it is going to help us to bring the coordination among the departments and among the different employees of the organization. So that is why we can say planning provides direction. So that is why it's important. Move to the next point, that is, planning reduces the risk of uncertainties. Planning reduces the risk of uncertainties. So we know that planning is an activity where manager is going to look future in advance, which means he is going to try to analyze the future happenings. He is going to try to predict the future happening in advance, and he is going to make plans accordingly. So it helps us whenever we face such problems. It helps us to face the problems in a better manner. We can face the challenges. Obviously, we cannot eliminate the risk. Okay, we cannot eliminate the risk, but up to some extent, we can prepare ourselves to face that risk. Okay, that is why we used to say. So this reduces the risk of uncertainty. So uncertainty is an integral part of any business. You cannot predict the future happening in advance 100% accurately, but up to some extent you predict, and that helps you to face the challenges in a better manner. Okay, so it enables a manager to have an idea. If suppose this is the problem which is we are going to face, so if you have idea about that, so you can face the problem in a better manner, and that is why we call it reduces the risk of uncertainties. Then moving to the next point, that is, it reduces, planning reduces overlapping and wasteful activities. Planning reduces overlapping and wasteful activities. So obviously, planning is going to serve as a coordination creator. It is going to create coordination among various departments of the organization and between so many employees of the organization, because each department and each employee, they are clear about their responsibilities. So when you are going to give this clarity with a plan to each departments and the employees, so it creates some coordination. When there is a coordination, obviously that reduces the wasteful activities, because unnecessarily they are not going to engage in other activities. So they know what is their purview, what is their restrictions, and what is the boundary lines they have to perform, and accordingly they will perform. So as a result of that, so we can also say, so it is going to help us to by reducing the wasteful activities, so we can get the productive results. Then moving to the next point, that is planning promotes innovative ideas. Planning promotes innovative ideas. So we know that planning is a mental exercise. It is all about intellectual process. Okay. So in the other class itself we told or we have discussed that planning is a mental exercise. It is not just a simple guesswork. It is based on some assumptions. It is based on some logical thinking. It is based on some imagination power. Okay, so that is why we can say it promotes innovative ideas, because planning is the very first function that is going to act as a base for the rest of the functions of management. So you need to plan carefully. Okay, so when a manager is given with the task of planning for an organization, he will set targets. He will set sales targets. He will set production targets. He will make some sheets, financial sheets. Okay, as the result of it, so we can come across a better idea, because it is all about thinking about future in advance. What we have to do if this is the case, if this is the problem we are going to face. So what is the solution? What would be the best solution? So we are going to create some alternatives and we are going to move on. So that is why we can say. So meanwhile, we may get a better idea. Okay, it is going to help us to have a very good plan. So that is why we can say it involves or it promotes innovative ideas. We can come across a better idea. Then planning facilitates decision making. Planning facilitates decision making. So as I told in the last class itself, in order to reach one destination, there will be so many different ways. So likewise in the organization also, to reach our destination called earning profit or improving number of branches of the organization, whatever it is. In order to reach our goal, in order to reach our destination, there will be so many different methods. Okay, so there are so many different methods by which we can reduce the cost, by which we can improve our productivity. Okay, so it helps us to find the different alternatives. Okay, manager can find different alternatives. We can frame different alternatives, and he can evaluate each alternatives, good and negative, plus and minuses of each alternatives, and he can compare with each other, and finally he can decide which is the best way of doing that activity, or which is the best way to reach that goal. So he is going to find the best among the available alternatives, obviously which is a least possible way, or which is most productive, with a less cost, with a less time consuming, with less efforts, which is the method we can help us to reach the goal. So such kind of method, such kind of alternative we can choose. So that is why we can also say it facilitates decision making, because when you have options, obviously you are supposed to select the best among the available options. Then planning establishes standard for controlling. Planning establishes standards for controlling. So obviously in the planning step itself, we are going to frame some standards. Okay, so which means you take controlling. So we know what is controlling. So controlling is nothing but something which is going to make sure the plan, the activities are going according to our plans. So it is going to help us. Standards for controlling means by particular point of time where we have to reach. So it is going to set such standards. Take an example of a completion of syllabus. Suppose we have a plan to complete the syllabus by November. Okay, from June to November. So in 6 months. So we have to plan. We have to establish standards by the end of June. What are the chapters we have to complete by end of the next month, by end of August, by end of September, October, November. Likewise, in each month we have to decide some certain portion to be completed. So like in organization also, planning is going to help us to compare the actual performance with the planned. So earlier what we have planned, so whether by end of this month what was our target, okay, whether we have reached the target or lagging behind or we are ahead of the target. So we can compare, we can analyze, and we can find the deviations. If any deviations, we can even take some necessary actions, and that action, depending upon the type of deviation and the amount of deviation, by depending on that, so we can take necessary actions also. So planning is going to help us to control, okay, because controlling presupposes that standards. In controlling, what we are going to do, we are going to compare the actual performance with the desired performance. So whether actual and desired results are same or not, so we are going to compare that, and it is going to help us. Planning is going to establish that standards for controlling, and that is going to help us indirectly. It is going to help us to control the organization. Okay, so that is what. So that is about some of the importance of planning. Next, so whether we have only benefits out of planning, only only we have a positive advantage over organization, or some negatives also there. So when we came across this question, obviously, just like two faces of the same coin, when advantages are there, obviously here some disadvantages also there. Okay, so let us go through limitations there. Limitations of, okay, these are the limitations of planning. So first one, limitations. Planning leads to rigidity. So obviously, when a specific plan is made in the organization, okay, it clearly indicates what is the way that you should follow. Okay, in planning, it states us clearly, a specific plan states us what is the way you should plan, what is the way that you should follow. Okay, it is going to give you a standard way to follow. So as a result of it, it forces you to follow in the same way in which you have planned. Okay, so you cannot, or it is not possible to make changes. So that is what rigidity is about. Okay, so in planning, it is going to give you a specific way to follow, or it is a particular pattern of reaching a goal, and you are supposed to follow that pattern. Okay, so you cannot make changes even though trends, even though environment demands you to make changes. Sometimes you are unable to make changes, and that is why we told you, we can say planning leads to rigidity. Then second one, planning may not work in a dynamic environment. Planning may not work in dynamic environment. So which means we know that business exists in such an environment. A business environment having such a nature which is dynamic in nature. Business environment is dynamic in nature, which means it never keep constant. It keep changing. It is by nature it is keep changing. Okay, so we have to we will face so many difficulties, because business environment is going to get affected by social conditions, political conditions, technological advancements, competitions. So many external factors are going to impact on business. Okay, so it is not constant, it is always keep changing. So in such cases, suppose we have planned something, okay, by keeping some predictions, so there is always a chance that is not going to work for you, because we are business environment is dynamic in nature. Even though a plan is worked earlier, suppose you take a plan, the last year the same plan you have implemented and you have got tremendous success, and by keeping the same point in mind, you have implemented the same plan again this year also. There is no guarantee that is going to work because of the plan is worked last year. This is going to work for this year. You cannot say like that, because it is all depending on external environment. It is all depending on the political conditions, technological conditions, competition, social conditions and all. So the plan is worked earlier just because it is worked earlier. So we cannot rely on that and we can implement the same one. Okay, there is no such guarantee of getting success again and again. Okay, so that is why we can say, so it has a limitation of may not work in a dynamic situations. Then planning reduces creativity. Planning reduces creativity. Obviously, we know that planning is a process of deciding the future course that is done by the top level management. This policy formulations, planning, so all these broad policies broad plans are going to made by top level management, and rest of the members are just they are implementers. Top level managers or top level people, top level management is going to plan, and rest of the members are going to just act as implementers. Okay, so you just have to follow the order. Most of the times it is just like following the order of top management. So that is going to reduce the thinking capacity of lower level people, and as a result of that, it reduces the creativity, because in the lower level or except top level management, rest of the parties just they are going to look after how can implement the plans. They don't have any authority to make changes. Okay, so when you don't have changes to make modifications in the given plans, so obviously you're going to just act as a follower. You're going to act as a order receiver. So that is why we can also say planning sometimes and most of the times it is going to reduce the creativity also. Then next one, that is planning is time consuming and costly. It is a costly affair. Planning is time consuming. Obviously it requires a lot of time to be involved. You're supposed to collect some primary data. Okay, you're supposed to think upon future happenings. Okay, and you're supposed to conduct number of meetings, boardroom meetings we have to conduct. We have to go for discussion with the experts and professionals. So all this requires a lot of time to be involved and lot of expenditure to be incurred. Okay, you have to incur a lot of money, as well as you're supposed to invest a lot of time to come across a plan, to develop plan or policy formulation. Okay, so you're supposed to do all these activities. Okay, like conducting meetings with the experts, conducting boardroom meetings, conducting meetings with the professionals. You have to collect some necessary primary data. Okay, all this process is a time consuming, as well as it involves a lot of costs to be incurred. So that is why we can say planning is a time consuming and costly affair. Okay, it is costly as well as time consuming. Then next one, planning does not guarantee success. Planning does not guarantee you success. Obviously, just because you have planned, just because you are going with a plan, there is no such guarantee of coming across favorable results. There is no such a guarantee, because the reason is business is in changing environment, because you cannot expect the future happenings to come as you predicted. Okay, many times your organization or your plans are going to get affected by political conditions, or some technological advancement may take place that is going to impact on you, or the trends and fashions are going to be get changed. So as a result of that also you may get impact on your business. Your plans are not going to get results. Or many a times, if you inefficient manner, or if you are not going to implement the plan in a best manner. So improper implementation of plan also may leads to failure. So that is why it is not going to give you any type of guarantee to come across success. Okay, so lack of proper implementation also one of the major reason that you may face loss. So that is why we can say planning does not guarantee you success. So this is about some of the demerits. So are these the limitations? No. So these are some of the important demerits of planning. So apart from these, maybe some other reasons like environmental changes, some natural calamities like flood, earthquake, tsunami. So that is also going to affect you. So natural calamities are going to affect you. Changing environmental conditions are also going to affect you. Okay, so sometimes competitors' strategy also going to affect you. Okay, so these are all some of the limitations of planning. So not like these written points. Okay, even there are some other points, some other factors which can act as a demerit in a planning process. Okay, so that's about some of the merits as well as demerits of planning. So in spite of these many limitations, so yet we have to go across planning, because in most of the times it is going to act as a advantage. Okay, even though there are drawbacks, still we have to go with this function of planning, because without planning you cannot go for success. Okay, without planning if you go for any activities, that is not going to guarantee you success. Even planning cannot guarantee you success, but without planning event means obviously there is a chance of facing loss is more. Okay, the chance of facing loss is more. That is why always it is suggestible that every organization must have to go with the plan. Okay, there are so many different types of plans are there. So in the future class, in the next class, let us discuss what are those different types of plans and what is the process of planning. Okay, so that's about today's class. Till the next class, stay at home, keep learning. Thank you.